Hello and welcome to my channel. So this is my first YouTube video ever, and today I'm just going to be talking a little bit about who I am and what I do, and about my writing and stuff, and then hopefully I'll start posting regularly and vlogging. So yeah, if you guys want to follow me on Instagram, I'll put it in the link. I'll link in the description, and it's Molly_9_, and it's just a little Instagram page with pictures and videos of my horse and my riding and stuff. So yeah, without further ado, I will start the video. So I'm just going to tell you guys a little bit about how I got into horses and how my whole riding career has gone so far. So I first rode a horse when I was 4 years old. It was at a carnival, actually, like a little state fair here in Washington, and I was 2 years old or something like that, and I just fell in love with horses at first sight. I could not stop thinking about them, and when I was 7, I took my first horse camp, and you know, it's just one of those walk trot camps where you learn the basics and stuff, so I was hooked, absolutely hooked. I had mad horse fever. I was so obsessed with horses, and I still am, and I just could not get enough, and I was only going for about a week in the summer every year, and I was riding English, and that was what I always wanted to do. I always wanted to jump. That was my only interest, really, and so I did those summer camps, and then my parents, they didn't want to sign me up for lessons just because they wanted to see if I was really going to be into it. They didn't want to have to spend the money if I was just going to drop it within a few months. So eventually I got to go to a week-long stay-away camp at my regular camp. I was finally old enough for horse camp, and that was just amazing. It was Western, but it was really fun. And so then finally, in 5th grade, I was able to start riding regularly in lessons. So I did a once-a-week lesson at a bareback and natural horsemanship barn. So now I am a hunter jumper, but back then I did bareback and natural horsemanship, and that's kind of where I got my background, and I really enjoyed that. Just because it was really nice to have that background in natural horsemanship, and we really got to understand a lot about the horse, and really got to understand how to take care of a horse and things like that. It was a little challenging though, because it did give me a hard background going into English, because so many things are really different, and I didn't have a bit, and I didn't have stirrups. So I actually owned my first pony at that bareback barn. Her name was Sasha, and I did learn how to walk, trot, canter, and jump little tiny, like 18-inch bareback. And then I was finally ready for a change. You know, they a lot of times would say like, oh yeah, you can show, things like that, and then it just kind of never happened, and I always really wanted to show and jump bigger, and I realized that there really wasn't those opportunities when you ride bareback. So I decided to move on about 2 years after I started there. So now I was in about 7th grade, so I moved to Phoenix Farm, which was a really, really good experience. I leased a pony there, Decker, and I did my first show season in the 2-foot and 2-3. We did the hunters and the jumpers, just really little, but it was a really, really good experience. And I worked summer camps there, and I just learned a lot more about showing and English riding, and it was really hard though to transition from bareback to English, but I found my way, and eventually I outgrew that pony, and it was time for me to start looking for a horse. So I'll probably make at some point a video of that horse trying experience, just letting you know my eck was not good back then. So I had what we call sun goddess eck, where I basically like stuck out my chest super far and like looked up at the sun, and so excuse me. So that was interesting, and yeah, but so I started looking for horses, and I finally found my perfect match. He is my soul horse. I still own him today. I love him so much. I got him in the summer, and he was lame when he first came to us, because he had been overdue for shoes, and a lot of times when horses are sold, they're not the best taken care of, just because they get changed hands a lot, and they're being tried, and it's really difficult for the owners to keep tabs on them and the people who are selling him to keep tabs on him, so it's really hard. But I was able to ride him a month later, and it was so impossible. I was so scared. I didn't know what was going on. He was trying to buck me off every lesson. He was not the same horse that I bought, and I was so disappointed and heartbroken and scared, and all I wanted to do was stop riding. And I told my mom. She said, "That's not what you want. I know that that's not what you want, and that's not what deep down I knew I never would stop riding." But at that point I was just so desperate. You know, my parents had made this investment. He's a hunter, he's a nice hunter, and my parents had made this big investment in him, and I was so worried that he wasn't going to work out. And my parents make a lot of sacrifices for me to ride because we do live in a city and they have to drive an hour out every time so that I can ride, and ride 3 times a week. And so I was just so worried that things weren't going to work out and that it'd be so much easier if I just didn't ride and I just stopped. But I knew that deep down that's not what I wanted. So we at one point hit rock bottom. I was so upset, and then I got to know him a little bit better as a horse, and I started spending more time with him. And this was a place where it was totally do-it-yourself, so I was grooming him and was doing everything like that, but I just spent more time with him, and I just realized, like, okay, I need to spend more time with this horse, and all of a sudden we just clicked, and it's been amazing since then. You know, we started just doing little 2-foot verticals and then working our way up. And it's hard though, because at my newest barn that I'm at now, the heights are very different. So at my old barn, 3 foot is like what 2.3 is. It's really crazy. No, like 2.6. But you know, they're the taped measures, like the actual real taped measures at my new barn. My old barn wasn't that way. And so my old barn was really more about fun shows, and I did the A circuit though, and I'll talk about that in a minute. But Willie and I were doing great. I was so looking forward to the show season. I was so excited. So I was the only one in my entire barn showing the A shows, which was difficult. And since we didn't have any grooms or anything like that, it was really hard because, you know, sometimes I'd miss classes because I wouldn't have somebody there to, you know, let me know. But it's just one of the struggles, and it was a wonderful experience though, and I really learned a lot. But yeah, and so we showed A circuit for about a year, the whole season, and I was so happy. We were doing really well. And then it got to a point where I just decided that it's a little too stressful to do it all on my own. So I did move on to my newest barn now, and I am so very happy there. And I did the 2.6 in that previous season. Sorry, I forgot to mention that. And I'm so very happy there. I'm riding with one of my best friends, Sophie, and I love her so much, and it's so fun to get to ride with her all the time. And it's a little bit more of a circuit barn. It's like mostly A circuit, and we do a lot of clinics, and it's a really good experience. So this year, actually in a few weeks, I'm going to be doing my first 3 foot at the A shows, and I'm really excited for that. So yeah, I'll stop rambling, but if you guys have any questions at all, you can leave them down in the comments and I will try and answer them. And yeah, thank you for listening. If you did enjoy it, please leave a like. And yeah, I'll make more videos soon. Thank you. Bye.